Open that shutter, Phil. Well, I know if you just look at this, it looks good, dark coming up into light. I think I'd like to bring a little more light down into it though. When I back up and look at the whole painting, I think it needs that. Even down here. Doesn't need a whole lot, but a little. Okay, hey! Where's all this white coming from now, suddenly? Too much. You know, sometimes your knife just doesn't agree with you. Or I should say my knife doesn't agree with me all the time. Okay, let's not get too excited here. This little knife is handy for some small areas, but it doesn't flex at all. It's actually curved the wrong way too, so I really limit its use. Let's go back to our little pointy friend here. Say hello to my pointy friend. Okay. I'll bring that light across there a little bit. Yeah, that's going to be better. But what's not better is my little sloppy moment here. Let's fix that. Okay. That line's right in the middle. Not that I mind a line going vertically, but I don't want it right in the middle of the trunk. Debris that I probably shouldn't worry about, but will worry about it anyway. Alright, we're getting close to the canopy. I better go dark again. I wanted the most intense light on this trunk to be, you know, here to here. I'd like it to be lower on this one. Okay, it might get even more, but for the time being we'll leave it at that. Let's hit the back side a little bit as well. Alright. We'll get up under the canopy here and I need more ultramarine blue. Okay. Squeeze a little of the good stuff out. And A little more ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. Seeing as we're going a little darker now. Okay. Well, you know, again, if I were you, I would find this a bit boring, but at least it's the last trunk of the painting. So after this we get to move on to other stuff. Well, frankly, we're starting to close in on things. We're starting to get closer and closer to the end. I kind of look forward to doing that door. I know I was planning on doing that already, but I was feeling impatient. And now I realize, yeah, well, we'll get this tree in first. It's so close. Sometimes I will get a little bit lazy towards the end of the painting, and I'll want to do stuff that, you know, after a bunch of kind of laborious stuff, I tend to want to get things done quickly and, you know, move on to the more immediately rewarding stuff. Get that shot of dopamine. Which is fine. But if I do that, I still have to come back and finish this. So if I hold off, you know, that's where patience shows itself to be a bit of a virtue, because the reward's a little bigger if you got a little bit of patience. Shouldn't worry too much about detail under the tree, under the canopy. It's really not that important. Okay. There we go. Whoops, see? Just dumb as a stick sometimes. Just run right off the edge of the branch. Like, why not just do this then? Okay. Focus, Phil. Stop whining. Just focus on what you're doing. I don't need to get too worried about that. Okay, that's the under canopy stuff, I guess. Well, my voice just isn't coming back at all. Alright, well, we'll just leave that for the moment. So something that happened, I was hoping it would, but I wasn't sure. This had become quite sort of an emerald green, too high a chroma in general. I hesitated, I held off on toning it down, the colors on this tree, because I knew that I was going to put some light on this one. I also knew it was going to be, there would be blues in here. Now the highlights on this tree are cobalt blue, burnt sienna and white. Here it's ultramarine blue, burnt sienna and white. Quite a difference, eh? Like this looks gray, this looks green. So, but it's still there, that blue is still there. So now that we've painted this blue in and I've put some proper light on it, as you can see I added a few strokes after I finished the last clip. Excuse me. This has helped to kill this. Now it doesn't bother me. I know that in the video when I watched it on my computer screen, this did not look so strong. But in person it does. But now I'm happy with it. I don't think I have to tone down any highlights on this tree. I might put the odd stroke in here and there just to tidy it up, and I may not worry about it. I still may also go in with some oranges in behind here. Again, not going to worry about it. Anyway, okay, that was another good decision. Excuse me. Okay, let's get my goggles on here. I don't really want to go, I don't want to have light touching all of these rocks everywhere, just a few spots. I also do not want to go into too high a value. I don't want to compete with these. You know, I want my scene mostly to be here. But I don't mind a bit more interest here. Here's a soft line. I'll take this value and this color and maybe we'll just put a little bit of that. On the top of this rock. It's about the same angle, you know, as this, catching some light. We don't want it to end where that one ended. We want to overlap a little bit, so we'll put a bit of that in there, okay? Harder line here. Not quite hard enough. Mix up a little more of that. What I'm playing with on these rocks will be ultramarine blue and raw umber. And white, obviously. Plenty of that stuff. Okay, that's probably a bit much of mass. Maybe not, we'll see. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure it is. So let me just dirty that a little bit. Okay, I'm playing again. We'll go back to our higher value here. And I think we can carry that higher value in here. Now I kind of have to watch the paint that I already have in place, because you can so easily... I'm sort of keeping an eye on the ridges is what I mean from the paint that I have underneath, because that's dry. And if I end up crossing a ridge this way or this way, I won't have a strong line. And although I don't want too much attention pulled down here, I want the lines to be strong enough. Now I don't want this highest intensity to be directly under here only. So I've gone softer here, a little higher value here, but staying cold, and we're going to bring it up into these rocks a little bit. Carefully. Oh, so carefully. You know, in a way you kind of... Sure, you like that look of flamboyance and the movement. But if you paint it like that, you're out of control. You just want it to appear to be careless. You definitely don't want to be careless. Okay. Few spots we can afford to bring it down a little bit. We don't just want a thin line across the top. You have to consider the textures of the rocks. And in a couple of spots, like here, it's a bit flat, you know, it would pick up more of the light, as well as here. Not much here because this rock cuts up like this. Doesn't pick up so much of that light, but around this corner right here, I don't want to go too bright, but we'll pick up a little bit of light there. And just a little more ultramarine blue, a little more raw umber. And yeah, you know, trying to keep two things in mind. One is the plausibility of the light and where it sits. And the other one is, and the main one is the design. You know, am I messing things up as I'm doing this? Because both can happen. This little rock in between, I think, is just tilted way back, so we don't... I don't want to put light on there, otherwise we'll end up with too much of a strong curve just sort of centrally. I don't want that. Okay, this is a bit of a flat top as well. No harm in it catching a bit of light, I believe. Use my finger knife to smear that because it's very textured. Okay, that's alright. Maybe a hint of light there. Hint of light there. Should I go here? I'm tempted to because I'm sitting this close to it. Bad idea. Too close to the edge. I don't think it's required. I don't think it's beneficial. Okay, let me just have a little stand up and back up and yeah, I may even already have too much of it on there. As far as a long thin line is concerned. So what I'm going to do is take a little more raw umber, a little more ultramarine blue, a little bit darker there, and no, that line is. What I'm going to do, I don't mind the light sitting there, I just would like it a little more graduated maybe. Maybe that's the way to put it. You know, breaking in a little bit. I think that's okay. Um, stand up and have a peek again. You know, I think we're winning. I think we are. This little bit bothers me a little bit. The little bit bothers me a little bit. But not a lot. You know what? We'll just shut it down. That's what we'll do. Okay, that might be it. Now I'm going to go back to some other areas. I might have to revisit it, I might not. I doubt it. You know, I'm not planning on revisiting it. To the best of my ability, that is finished now. This rim of rocks here. And that's how I go through it as I get towards the end. I continue to consider an area to be finished, at least for the time being. If I have to revisit, fine. If not, fine too. Yeah, all in all, I would say we are winning. I was very happy to have a little more, not just regarding the adjacency of these values next to these, but having a little more life on the edge. You know, this is getting pretty close to the edge of the painting. Because it's such a large painting, I didn't just want this to be all muted in here, you know? And I may still even, this looks a bit flat now that has light on it. I may even put a stroke or two just to lighten it up in there. As I mentioned, I might even put might even take a bit of this origin and put it in behind there. Only if it benefits the painting, and only once I know enough to make a sound decision, which so far I don't. I like the shadow on the shed. It's a little symmetrical. I'm likely to leave this. I'm very sure I'm going to leave the roof now, but I may take some of the brighter, more intense red, and I may, because it does this and then this, I might just cut underneath it a couple of strokes to break it up so that we don't have that symmetry. I like asymmetry. Well, in that case. Yeah, I think the rocks are good now. You know, that worked out well. This is fairly dark. It might even require just a spot of a little bit lighter. Not like this, but maybe like this, you know, or maybe this. just to break it up a little. Take the flatness away from it. The flatness. Yeah. I might touch this yet. I'm not sure the shape of the shadow. We'll see. It works the way it is. If it's questionable whether I'll improve it, then I'll probably just leave it. Anyway, this will be done over this weekend, thankfully. I don't know how many videos are on this painting. A lot. Anyway, we're drawing close to the end. Thanks for watching.